What is up, Reject Nation? So we just put out a video talking about a couple of Marvel news rumors, but then we saw that this was out and I was like, well, yeah.
Kinda gotta.
Spider-Man, No Way Home, a real plot leak, and multiverse confirmed. Let's see what's in store. Shall we?
Oh, let's do it.
What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. A ton of Spider-Man news has happened over the last few days, and at this point, it's all getting pretty official. Marvel has been trying so hard to keep the Spider-Verse in No Way Home a secret, but at this point in time, with the actors themselves confirming that they'll be in the film and confirming the multiverse, Marvel is having
Thank you, Alfred Molina.
This in the shadows. But good for them for trying. So we have the confirmation of the multiverse, confirmation of not one but two villains, one of which is rumored to be the main villain, and we have a plot leak from somebody who has proved accurate in his leaks before. And I'm gonna break it all down.
Ooh,
Scoopas.
Alfred Molina, who of course played Dr. Octavius in Spider-Man 2, the original one with Tobey Maguire, has publicly come out and stated that he is indeed going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. And not only did he come out stating that he's going to be in the film, he said that it's going to be the same character from the same Sam Raimi universe. In fact, he said that his story is going to pick up again right where it left off at the end of Spider-Man 2.
That is multiverse confirmation,
which
baby.
Which is very interesting because we technically didn't see him die. We assumed so way back then in 2004, but that
saving
was
grace
before the
of
multiverse
all
was really a thing.
geek
Now anybody
media.
can kind of stay alive. And that's actually what Alfred Molina said the director told him. He said he asked John Watts, the director, how he's going to come back if he died, in which John Watts replied, "In this universe, no one really dies." Which is true. We now have time travel and the multiverse. There's ways to get around it.
Yeah, I think that line from John Watts kind of undercuts some stuff. We already have that feeling that deaths are not as concrete in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but for the director of one of the biggest Marvel properties to come out and say that, it's like, come on, man. I'm excited about Alfred Molina's coming back, but I'm hoping that it doesn't undercut his arc that was in Spider-Man 2, considering that this is going to be following the canon of that specific Doc Ock. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
Then the article specifically says, in their early conversations, Alfred Molina said that John Watts told him that the movie will pick up Doc Ock's story from that moment in the river, which in a franchise that includes multiverses, time travel, and diverging timelines seems plausible enough.
They'll have to DH him, wouldn't they? They'd have to.
He said, I think he confirmed that
at the
too.
end of Spider-Man 2 and take him into a different universe, our universe. And that's how he becomes one of the villains, or perhaps even maybe somewhat of a hero in No Way Home. And the same probably goes for Jamie Foxx's Electro as well. Now, as I mentioned, we have a Spider-Man No Way Home plot leak today.
Yeah, what are you talking about, buddy?
This is actually really cool because this leak is coming from somebody who leaked the information about the secret cameo that was in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 5. This person posted that the cameo was going to be Julia Louis-Dreyfus way before the episode premiered.
You've done for me
We
lately.
actually do know a thing or
Lately
two
being
about what's going on
last
behind
week.
the scenes, and now they have a plot leak for us.
Reliability.
So, let's begin. The plot leak says the movie starts off where Far From Home ended, and there is a time skip. Peter is in court, and there is a lot going on. He is trying to prove his innocence. Doctor Strange calls out that there is something going on and the multiverse is breaking.
So in court has to be he's being
Dude,
represented
he's
by
gotta
the
have
DD,
Matt Murdock.
right?
Gotta have that Murdoch.
Villains are going around from other worlds into others, kind of jumping world to world.
And they're specifically your villains.
Yeah,
Put
Spider-Man.
them in a special made prison by him. The villains
Okay.
somehow escape because Tom Holland's Peter Parker messes with some stuff, probably in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker and Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker are in the second and third act of the movie. And the leaker states that how they met or how they came into Tom Holland's world is unknown to him. But both Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker and Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker help out Tom Holland's Peter Parker and Doctor Strange in rounding up the villains in their world. The leaker says there are scenes in the movie with just Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Oh, no way.
So it's not just going to be team-up scenes according to this leaker. We're actually going to get some one-on-one time with the previous Spider-Man. It goes on.
Oh man, I love that. If we get isolated scenes or just them individually, if there's a scene I'm really craving, obviously I want to see all three of them together. I love the idea of them rounding up guys and just the shots.
Yes.
The shots of all three.
Imagine all the angles,
I know,
splash pages,
all
brought
those
to life.
moving epic shots of the three of them swinging. But I am desiring a scene just between Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
I know, yeah.
I want to see just them interact
I
with
want
each other.
every possible combination.
It goes on to say that the
Spider-Man.
movie's final act is on the Statue of Liberty that now looks like a big Captain America with the shield. And this is actually something that we've seen a very recent leaked set photo for. So this part is confirmed to be true.
Damn.
Now, why is the Statue of Liberty dressed like the new Captain America? Well, that's because Spider-Man No Way Home picks up right after the events of
this sounds
Spider-Man
great.
Far From
Yeah,
Home.
dude, this
And
is
we
cool.
know that Spider-Man
This is better
Far
than
From
last
Home
leak.
takes place 6 months after Avengers Endgame, and so does the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it is possible that this is all happening right when John Walker is named the new Captain America. To me, this makes the most sense, because why else would they decorate the Statue of Liberty like Captain America unless they were celebrating Captain America? And the announcement of a new Captain America we've already seen has been greeted with parades, marching bands, and the new Captain America is supposed to be a symbol of hope to America and the world. So they most likely dressed up the Statue of Liberty to commemorate this.
I'm just wondering if I like the idea of a set piece at the Statue of Liberty and let that be like a cool finale showdown. Like, I don't think we've really seen that. I've seen Spider-Man events with like certain famous bridges and all that. The Statue of Liberty, and especially with the Captain America shield, I'm hoping that there'll be some actual meaning and symbolism that plays into it and not just a cool looking set piece.
I mean, you know, because the Statue of Liberty seems like a prime place for Captain America characters to fight, or yeah, something that's going to dive into, you know, what the statue means and the fact that we're fighting at it being significant. I guess seems like maybe a stretch for just like how much this movie has already to do, but it would be nice if they had some subtext in there as well.
It goes on to say that all of the villains are there with Tom Holland Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield
Wow,
Spider-Man.
that shot!
Stark's arch reactor is present in the scene, and
Let's
every
go.
villain is trying to get their hands on it for something. The leaker says that based on what they saw, that part was not very clear. But all of the villains go on to be defeated and are put back in the prison of Doctor Strange, all of them except Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. But they go on to say that the Green Goblin goes on to kill somebody major. The leaker is not sure who this person is, but Tom
We
Holland's
just
Peter
talked
Parker
about
is
who that might
crying
be.
and
I
rage.
think.
He tries to kill the Green
all
Goblin, but
coming
wasn't
together.
successful in doing so in the end. The movie ends with Peter Parker finishing high school, and it's not clear on what happens to Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
They
And
also
that's it for the
finish high
plot
school.
leak.
Wait, whoa. So he finishes high school at the end.
He's got
all
time.
that. Look, I just need to graduate.
Well, no, that'll be, yeah.
Is it another time skip?
Guys, I have to get back to class.
It's the rush, man.
No, I imagine like a coda where everything, the dust is settled and he's, you know, at school thinking about like, wow, now I'm just back in a normal scenario, being a kid. Guess I gotta grow up after all these crazy adventures.
And again, talking about how I don't want it to undercut the Doc Ock storyline. Goblin died a villain. The thing though is Goblin's death really had major ripple effects for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So if Goblin is coming in here, if it is for sure Willem Dafoe, I'm expecting to see some shit of Tobey Maguire having an emotional response to all this.
Oh yeah, that's gotta catch him like way off guard.
Especially if there's a major death and then Tom Holland Spider-Man wants to kill him or something. It's like tempted to. There's got to be some type of mentorship thing, kind of reminding us of the Spider-Verse.
And if they do include him, it seems like they are including more of the Tobyverse villains, perhaps, than the Andrew Garfield or anything like that. So it seems like they're heaping some significance on that. So
What if it's been Dane DeHaan this whole time?
he's finally gonna get his due. That Green Goblin's coming back.
Now, there have been a few reports talking about Norman Osborn's Green Goblin returning for Spider-Man No Way Home. This plot leak actually isn't the first time that we've heard this. However, this plot leak does back it up, and recently a Twitter account that has been right about some previous leaks in the past has been stating that Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is indeed the main villain of Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, we did indeed see Green Goblin die in the very first Spider-Man, but like John Watts said, nobody's really dead in this universe. They could very well grab him before he dies, or perhaps, just like is happening in the main MCU timeline, the reality is breaking in other timelines. After all, we are getting Jamie Foxx's Electro in Spider-Man No Way Home, and it definitely looked like he died in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, although he could have been teleported to a different universe. Obviously, not much is known about how everything is going to happen and go down in Spider-Man No Way Home, but this plot leak is a great start.
Look, the timeline of the Tobey Maguire films have to be kept intact. I'm very particular about that. Not only was Norman Osborn killed, he also was buried at the end of that movie.
Yes.
There's a funeral for him.
Yes.
You know? So if you take him out of that moment when he dies by his own glider, then do the events of Spider-Man 2 happen?
And like, how can you take Toby at any point?
Yeah.
Or did this all happen individually?
Are they going to disregard Spider-Man 3 in total? Because I heard Sandman might be in this too.
And the other confusing thing to me then is that also they've confirmed or a while ago that Jamie Foxx's Electro would have a different look and thus be sort of altered from that movie, whereas it also seems like the Tobey Maguire villains are going to be like the exact same. So part of me wonders if they might actually go some kind of alternate route, but still use Willem Dafoe or something. I don't know.
Because if Toby's coming in, and Andrew, it is a sequel to those movies as well.
Hopefully it's all true. Like I said, this leaker was right about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 5 cameo. So they seem to be pretty legit. So at this point in time, we know that Jamie Foxx's Electro is going to be returning, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is most likely returning, and Alfred Molina's Dr. Octavius is going to be returning as well. And Alfred Molina in his interview basically confirmed the multiverse for us. And of course, if I hear anything else regarding Spider-Man No Way Home or any other Marvel news, I'll get it out to you, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Be sure to let me know what you think about this plot leak and Alfred Molina confirming the multiverse. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video, and for live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
All right, well, I believe that one way more than the other one. That one actually sounds like a real movie and focused. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Villains are coming in, and then you have the other Spider-Man he's got to team up with to take on the multi-villains. Like, this sounds like what a lot of us imagined it would probably be like, and this sounds like it could be a real movie. The one that came out before, we were saying in the middle of the reaction, like, we don't buy this. This sounds like a little too ridiculous.
Yeah, if this is a fake theory, then good job.
This is the most believable, plausible one.
Because it didn't feel like you were throwing everything in there to just see what sticks. You know?
And considering who the source is, every leaker, almost everyone, has been right about stuff in the past. And then they're wrong about some things. So just because this person was right about Val and Falcon and Winter Soldier does not necessarily mean he's 100% right about this either.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Either way, this got me excited. Like, hearing this, I was like, this sounds awesome.
Yeah. You can see that it starts to form the potential in your
flows.
mind's eye.
It already flows in the idea of how you're pitching it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, what do you think about this? Are you hoping this is the way this all unfolds? Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe. Click that notification bell. Hit that like button. And last but not least, Adelia Chamberlain. Adelia, you have been stepping out of your comfort zone so much. For the longest time I've known you, you've had a lot of great, amazing thoughts that you are wonderful at articulating when you're typing or putting the pen to the pad. Yet I've always wanted you to kind of be more on camera and do things like that, especially since you've been so drawn to people who do that. And I've been seeing you on social media doing a lot more on-camera work. I am so proud of you for stepping out of your comfort zone, taking that initiative to allow yourself to grow during such a challenging time. You are an inspiration. I love you. Seriously, this is a major, major, major step. Might feel little to you to certain degrees, but really, for the individual I know, this is beautiful. This is an amazing thing, and I'm so proud of you. So keep it up, and I hope to see you leading your own channel one day. Oh, kick ass.